New World Order, you underestimated the people. You took a gamble and you lost.
Okay, we don't like this. Okay, well then we're going to do this, and that is just how it's going to be.
Evidence brought to light that there is a corrupt officer, or that officer did shoot that kid on purpose.
I don't care how I look, I don't care how I sound, I don't care what the beat is. I just care the message gets across.
Hello, this message is for Doug Walker, aka the Nostalgia Critic on Channel Awesome. In response to your videos, What the Hell YouTube Parts 1 and 2. To start off, my name is Chris Sheldon, aka the Tin Man. I am a political and human rights activist working for TWWRN, the Worldwide Resistance Network, as their director / editor and public relations. And I'm also a big fan of your work. I will admit I really do enjoy your videos. I get a good laugh out of them. Definitely brings a smile to my day. But the videos that I want to talk about, not exactly fun videos, they're a little more serious. Your issues with YouTube. And the reason I bring this up, and this is such a hot button for me, is one, I can sympathize with where you're coming from as a fellow YouTuber myself, getting hit with copyright strikes, even though you're doing everything you can to stay within the terms and the laws that have been set forth, and then you're still getting hit. I can understand that. Plus, number two, I just don't like seeing people getting messed with. We're just out there trying to do our thing, do what makes us happy, and you got people trying to bring you down, and I just don't like that. And the reason I wanted to make this video is not just to sympathize with you and say, hey, I understand how you feel. There were some things that you had mentioned in your video that made it seem like, maybe you didn't know why all this was happening, why there's so much confusion, and so forth. And I just wanted to share a little bit of my experience and insight on the matter. Maybe you can take something from it and might help you guys out a little bit. As I said, I've faced these issues many times in the past myself. And the first issue is not so much the copyright infringement. It's not so much a copyright issue. As you said yourself, you know the rules. You do everything you can to abide by the rules, and any segments you use are being used in fair use and kept under 10 seconds as per the law and YouTube's terms of service and so forth. So it's pretty well safe to say it's not a commercial rights issue or a copyright issue. As you are well aware, there's a lot of discontent in the world today, especially here in the United States. Everybody's getting butthurt about everything, the prejudice thing, the getting upset over this, getting upset over that. I mean, I'm sure you see it and get it all the time on YouTube. I'm sure you got people trolling you like crazy sometimes, we all get it. And it seems that, at least from my point of view, I don't know what your political and social standings are on these varying issues, but from my personal experience and understanding, we seem to be now living in a world where the First Amendment, freedom of speech, is taking a back seat to political correctness, or as I like to call it, the butthurt syndrome, where everybody's just getting offended by everything. And for some reason, it's not socially acceptable to express yourself and your thoughts and your opinions anymore, even though it's protected under free speech. You know, the right to freedom of the press and freedom of expression and so forth. You know, that seems to have been taking a back seat. And sad to say, it sucks, but it's true. And especially where the movie and television industry is concerned, you know, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. So you got companies like Google who, if these major studios pitch a bitch, pardon my French, but if they throw a little temper tantrum about it, Google will pull it because it's not showing them in a positive light. You're not talking about kitty cats and puppy dogs. You're giving your honest opinion. You're portraying things in a negative light, even though, as you put it in your review of Jurassic World, they're getting all butthurt even though your reviews have led to greater sales of the product. But to these people, it doesn't matter. It's bad publicity, and they don't like that. So that's a good possibility as to why you're getting these strikes on you, because the movie industries and studios just aren't liking the publicity you're giving them. Yeah, it's all in good fun, and people get a lot of laughs. And yes, it does boost sales, but at the same time, they're just making these people look bad. Or at least in their opinions, you're making them look bad. And I guess it is what it is. The best thing that I could advise in that is at the end of your videos, and even in the descriptions of your videos, put a disclaimer. I actually have one here. It says, fair use copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. In fact, I'll post the whole thing in the description of this video for you, and you can tack it onto your videos. You know, that should help protect and reinforce your rights when you have issues like this again. And as we all know, you've been hit once, you'll be hit time and time again. Another thing that you mentioned in your videos is that YouTube is operating under an automated system. Basically, all the flaggings and strikes and everything that people are getting is all automated. You're not necessarily dealing with a real person. That is true, but at the same time, it's not true. Back in late 2013, early 14, Google hired on a huge team to scour their system for videos that were in violation of their terms of service or in violation of any copyright laws. And it's not just new incoming videos, it's also older videos. And I know this from personal experience, because when this happened, a whole mess of my videos, we're talking hundreds of videos, got flagged, and many of which were removed because of violations. And I went to hell with these guys, battle after battle, video after video, addressing this and fighting these guys, in some cases winning, some cases losing, and in many instances I had to threaten to go to the Better Business Bureau and take them to court for it, and at which point they would often back off. But again, I can sympathize with what you're going through, and I can attest to what's been happening here. As far as Google's new automated public relations form and their resolution center, I don't know if things have changed in the past year, but when the last time I dealt with them, they actually shut down their entire resolution center. So it's not uncommon for you to be facing script errors or have trouble getting a hold of somebody. Heck, one of the last times I had to deal with them, I actually had to call their corporate offices to actually talk to somebody, and they said that at this time they don't have a public relations or a on-hand resolution center staff. So it's going to be a hit and miss thing, but just so you know, it's not all automated. You know, there are people who are working around the clock pulling videos and flagging videos because of political correctness or even real violations, even though some videos slip under the radar, as you had pointed out. One final thing that I would like to bring up, you mentioned that you often don't know what you're being flagged for and will get locked out of your account and thus not be able to even know who flagged you in the first place. As I'm sure you're well aware, the Constitution says that you have a right to face your accuser and by proxy know what you're being accused of. And you also have the right to present an adequate defense for your case. And the way the system is set up, 250 characters to plead your case, that's not in any way enabling anybody to make an adequate defense. So the best advice I can give is point out the fair use section 107, stating that you are in compliance with fair use and also with YouTube's terms of service, and also that you have a right to know what you're being accused of by your accuser, to be able to address that accuser, be that is not the case. Any strike or repercussions are invalid, and that's not even including the aspect of innocent until proven guilty. We receive disciplinary action even before we have a chance to present our counterclaim, at which point, you know, the whole thing becomes void. You know, legally they shoot themselves in the foot, and you could definitely take legal action in any safe regard. And those are just a few of the points that I saw in your videos. Again, I'm happy that you're getting things worked out. As a political activist myself, I again want to point out that I pride myself on helping people where I can. And like I said, I've been through this myself. So if there's any knowledge or insight that I can share with people to help them resolve their issues, I'm more than happy to help. So if you guys face these issues again, or are still facing these issues, definitely feel free to hit me up. I would love to talk to you and help you out if I can. But in the meantime, take care. 10 Man out.